Okay, stuffing. This is how my mom made it, and this is how her Bubba Mary taught her and how she made it. I make it the exact same way my mother made it. The only thing I do a little different, when mom always stuffs the bird, I don't stuff it. I cook it outside the bird. But, okay, so we're going to start off with 2 loaves of white bread, just regular white sandwich bread, 2 loaves. Mind you, this is just a small batch for, like, my household. On the holidays, I would double that. But for a smaller batch, just us in the house, it's 2 loaves of white sandwich bread. And all you do is break it up with your hand into bite-sized pieces. That's it. Then I have 2 sleeves of saltine crackers. It's for the texture and the salt. Now, if you don't want all that salt, just get unsalted crackers. So that's 2 sleeves of crackers, just broken up, thrown in with the bread. And I'll mix it all up together here after a while. I have a bunch of green onions. I should have probably bought another one because this one was kind of small. But it's okay because I'm also putting a sweet onion, a regular onion in it. But for right now, we're just going to throw the green onions in it. Okay, now, what I did over here, I have 3 chicken bouillon cubes that my husband so graciously smashed to hell for me. And I have 1 medium onion that's been chopped up really, really good and fine. I used 2 small teaspoons of minced garlic. My mom used to make it super duper duper garlicky. I used to also, but I can't do that anymore because this Elsie's stomach and my husband's stomach, they can't handle all the garlic. So, but you could add as much garlic as you want. We're also going to be adding garlic salt and garlic powder later. Again, if you don't want all the salt content, don't use the garlic salt. Only use the garlic powder and use regular table salt or sea salt, whatever you use for your salt content. So also, here is the secret ingredient. Livers. So when the holidays are here and it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever, and I, use a whole turkey, it comes with the giblet packet. Well, I don't use the heart or none of that shit, only the liver. Well, they didn't have no type of turkey breast or nothing, so I had to use chicken today. So I bought a little container of chicken livers. What I did, I also threw those in the food blender thing and pureed them all to hell. You could use as much liver as you want. I use about half a cup's worth and then puree it down really, really good. Throw it into a pot with 1.5 sticks of butter, whatever kind of butter you want. So it's the liver, pureed liver, 1.5 sticks of butter, and 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, and or how much ever garlic you want. You're just going to let this cook for maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes. Just enough to cook the liver like you want it. You want to make sure the liver's cooked before you throw it in the stuffing. You don't want to end up having any type of raw liver. That would be gross. Okay, so now that the butter's melted down, I'm going to add my minced onion to it as well. So this way, the onion will also cook down really good. You'll get all the taste of it without it being hard or too raw. Okay, so I added the onion. I'm just going to let that cook for another 5-10 minutes. Not long. Like I said, in total, maybe 15 minutes tops. And I know it sounds really weird using the liver. But it's no different than when people make giblet gravy. You know what I mean? It's the flavor of the turkey or the chicken, whatever. I'm telling you, it will not taste right if you don't put the liver. I've tried it before where I didn't have the liver or they didn't put one in the pack and I'm like, oh, it's fine. It won't change it. Oh, no. It changes it. It doesn't taste the same without the fucking liver. So you definitely got to do the liver. So I'll let that cook for a few more minutes. And then I'll show you the process of adding it all to the bread and what I do after that. Okay, now that the liver and onions and stuff is done cooking, I let it cool down for like 20 minutes because I took a break to eat lunch. So now we're going to take those 3 chicken bouillon cubes, throw it in there. And then we're going to take, okay, now this is, hold on. I'm going to put 2 cups cold water. Maybe 3. No, I'm going to start off with, 3. 3 cups of cold water. I'm trying to measure everything because I don't actually measure. Okay. So, once you get that, bring my garlic salt. Elsa, could you open these 2 for me, please? Take the lids off, the garlic powder and garlic salt. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to start pouring the liver, onions, and stuff. You're going to pour half of it into the pan. You're going to take pepper. Again, I don't measure anything. I just go around the top. I add some pepper. I take the garlic powder. I just put some over the top. Garlic salt, a little bit. I'm trying to not put too much salt because all of them got like blood pressure issues. Make sure your hands are clean, of course. And you're going to start. Oh, Elsa, could you go get me 2 eggs, please? We're gonna add 2 scrambled eggs. Not scrambled, but mixed eggs. Yeah, 2 mixed eggs into this here in a few. So when you add half of that pot, everything's still going to feel really dry. Don't freak out. Just start folding it all into each other, mixing it around so that you can get the crackers and the onions and everything. Yeah, they're done now. Okay, so just keep kind of folding it all over and mixing it together. And you'll feel some of it's really wet, some of it's still really dry. No big deal. Now you can crack the eggs in a bowl and mix them up. It doesn't matter. I'm just throwing them directly in. And I'll just take my hand, break them up, and then kind of spread it around the top. And then start mixing it in a little bit. I know it's not together right now. It's still broken up and crumbly, and don't worry. We're gonna put it together more. Just give it a little mix like that. Then take your other half that was in the pot and do half more. Making sure you get the liver in there and the onions. And then again, mix. Bring some from the bottom, fold it over to the top. Just grab scoops of it, fold it onto each other. Okay, now this is one thing where me and my mom kind of differ. Mom likes hers super, super soaking wet. She likes hers really, really sopping wet. I don't, because I like my stuffing to have some texture. Because when it's done, when it's finished cooking, there's one last step that I'm going to do to make it kind of more juicier. But, so that's the only thing where me and her differ. So it's texture. If you want a chunkier, thicker stuffing, then you use less liquid. If you want a really mushy, super, super duper mushy stuffing, you use more liquid. But the way I do it, I can control how mushy I want it, or thick. I like mine, see, it's still kind of like, it's got chunks. It's thick and chunky. Okay, but it's still kind of dry, so I'm going to go ahead and add that last bit of onions and everything that was in the pot. get all that yummy goodness. Now, usually for I don't know, the last like 6 years or so here, Molly does the mixing, and I add the seasonings while she mixes. So again, I'll stop and I'll take the garlic powder, and I'll just go over the top. I'll grab my pepper, just go over the top a little bit. In a minute here, we're going to taste it. Don't freak out. The liver's cooked. We're going to taste it because you want to taste garlic and you want to taste salt. But again, it's going to depend how garlicky you want it and how salty you want it. That's up to you. But you want to at least be able to taste the garlic and the salt because this is bread, it's absorbing it. So it looks like I'm putting in a lot of garlic and stuff and pepper. But really, for this much bread and crackers, no, it's really absorbing it. So when you go to first taste it a lot of times, you won't really taste the salt or the garlic too much because it's just, the bread absorbed it. And then you got to remember, you're cooking it, so, it cooks it down. So again, just the garlic and the salt. You add as you go and you taste it to see how salty or how garlicky you want it. Traditionally, it's supposed to be so fucking garlicky that it'll scare away all the vampires. But if you guys have problems with your stomach or anything, then don't overdo it on the garlic. If you have blood pressure issues, don't overdo it on the salt. Okay, so now, for me, this is still a little too thick. It's almost perfect, but I'm going to add just a little, probably 1 more cup of water to it. But I'm going to give it a little taste. I'm just going to grab the smallest little piece of it and give it a little taste. I could taste the garlic powder. I taste it really good, but I still want it a little more garlicky. I could taste the salt, but it's not prominent yet, so I'm going to add some more garlic salt. If you don't want the garlic salt, you could add the salt itself. I'm going to add 1 more cup of water. And that should be pretty much where I like it. Just dump it in there. Remember, we got the 3 cubes of chicken bouillon, and all the other seasonings in it. It'll be flavorful. A little more pepper. Again, pepper to taste. It's how you want it. But I'm going to go ahead and add a little more garlic salt because I don't taste the salt too much. And a little more garlic because, garlic's delicious. I'm going to get this mixed up, and then I'll come back. All right. I mixed it up good. I leveled it out. I didn't smash it down in the pan, and I just level it out so it cooks evenly. I'm going to throw the lid on it, stick it in the oven at 350 degrees. It's probably going to take about 1.5 to 2 hours. See, now it depends on the pan. If you use those cheap little foil pans and cover it with foil, I think it holds too much moisture in those. I don't know. I don't like those. I like the big old-fashioned, roasting pans. They're a little more heavy duty, so I feel like it cooks it better that way. But yeah, so I put the lid on it. I'll throw it in the oven on 350. 1.5 to 2 hours. I'll check it after a while. Mom didn't, like I said, Mom used to put hers in the bird. I don't like doing it that way. I get leery about it, not cooking fully. And the juices from the turkey or the chicken mixing in and not cooking. So I don't know, that icks me out. But midway through, about an hour, hour and a half, about an hour through, I'll take it out of the oven and I'll grab a fork or a big spoon or something and I'll break it up a little bit and mix it around. Put it back in the oven and let it finish cooking. Now, when we make the Puerto Rican rice, at the bottom of the pan, it gets that hard crust and that fucking shit tastes so good, right? Well, the stuffing does the same thing. When it's done cooking, you're going to see that the bottom part of it is kind of hard. And but it tastes so good. My Bubba Elsie loved that. Every time when the holidays would come around, she'd always want that part, that bottom crust, because it tastes so good. But I'm going to throw it in, let it sit for about an hour, then I'll mix it up and show you where it's at. Oh, by the way, so like if you were going to do a whole fryer chicken with it, you'd throw that in now, of course. I wouldn't cook the chicken in with it because all the juices from the chicken are going to go into stuffing and make it super, super soggy. I mean, if you want it that way, like I said, that's how my mom makes it. But if you don't, if you want it a little more chunky, then you cook the chicken separate. I'm just using some breast tenders. And so in an hour, when I pull it out to mix it around a little bit, I'll throw these tenders on top of it, cook it for another, 40 minutes, maybe an hour, and it'll all be done. Okay, I just took a spoon, I broke it all up, mixed it around. That bottom part, like I was talking about, how it like gets a little bit hard, and leave that. You don't have to mix that, you leave that. Just mix it up. Now when you mix it up, it might look like it, oh, it's too steamy. It might look like it broke down some, or I don't know how to explain it, but it's fine. Just give it a little mix. Now I'm gonna put chicken. Like I said, I'm doing chicken today. So I'm just gonna throw them in there right on top. And I'm not going to season them too much with anything different because I don't want the stuffing to have a different seasoning other than what I put in it. These are just the little chicken tenders, so these won't take long to cook. By the time they cook, the stuffing will be done too, so it'll all get done at the same time. But like if you wanted to do leg quarters or a whole fryer or whatever, then like I said, I'd suggest that you do it in a separate pan. Okay, let me grab. I'm just going to put a little bit of garlic salt on top. And that's it. Because I don't want, on top of the chicken. Because again, I don't want to change the flavor of the stuffing. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid back on it and put it back in the oven for like, I don't know, 40 minutes. Hold on. Let me do something. Okay, I put it in the oven, but this time I cracked the lid. See how it kind of let the lid stay open a little bit? Because I want the moisture to be able to escape now. Because I don't want it super mushy, like I was talking about. I don't want it to go to total mush and not have no type of texture. So if you leave the lid cracked, it'll let the moisture escape. And about 40 minutes, we'll come back and check it. Okay, after the 40 minutes, I checked. The chicken's about done. Chicken only needs maybe, I'm going to give that maybe 5 minutes. But the stuffing, I want it cooked just a smidge more, so another 15 minutes. Okay, it's done. I let it go for like maybe 20 minutes after the last time I said. So now I had it sitting on the counter for about 10 minutes. So, because I wanted that steam and shit to evaporate out of it more, so it could get a little more stiff, a little more thicker. So you could eat it just like this right now. That's it. It's done. And it's good. My mom and me usually take it and put it in a big pan or pot on the stove, add some water and a whole bunch of butter to make it more juicier. So if you want drier stuffing, like when you eat it out of the box, if you ever ate the stuffing out of the box, like if you add less water, it's really dry. If you add more water, it's more wet. So if you want it dry like this, you eat it the way it is right now. If you want it wet, you add butter with a little bit of water. And that's how much ever you want. And like I said, we usually put it on a stove in a pan with water and butter and just warm it up for like 5 minutes. But I'm lazy today and my sugar was dropping, so now I don't feel like doing it. So I just took like a half a cup of water and like a little more than maybe 3/4 of a stick of butter. I'm just gonna pour it on there. So it's still got that buttery juiciness to it that the kids like. And then I'll give it a mix and that's it. It's done. And I got them canned cranberries. I don't usually make my chicken so white like white people chicken, but I didn't want the paprika to mix into the stuffing. And then I made some cream peas. Those are done. So that's it. That's how we do the stuffing.